and we got jokey joke Vince is what we call him. Okay, so the instructor says whenever you pick up a knife, you have to say sharp. Oh man, that's all Vince needed to hear. Okay, so he kept saying sharp, sharp, sharp. Even in the amount of time, the footage that we seen, which couldn't have been any more than a couple of minutes, he at least said it 10 times. So I can only imagine in real time how he was getting on everybody's nerves. And then he was talking to Lauren. Oh, yeah, Lauren was there too. So it was Ashanti, Cardi, Vince, and Lauren. So he was like, yeah, you got to get in there and cut that mushroom. Yeah, you got to get in it. Just doing too much. Like, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And like I said, y'all, it's so cool to be funny because I feel like I am comedic in nature when I'm out with a group of people. And I'm not the life of the party. I'm not an extrovert or anything like that. But I do like to keep things jovial and throw little jokes here and there and just, you know what I'm saying, just be cool. But like I said, the key is you gotta read the room. You gotta know when to say when. Okay. You gotta know, let's say we got a joke going, right? You got to know when the joke has run its course, right? You know, some people they still on the joke, and you like, yeah, that is not. It's not really funny anymore, right? Vince seemed like the type of person he just don't know. He don't know when to stop. He don't know when. Okay, like I can be funny. I can be authentically myself. But at this point right here, I'm trying to talk to Lauren. So let me ask her. You know, let me be serious for a second. Goodness. What is up, y'all? I hope you guys are doing well. Look, I told y'all it's either I drop it on the weekend or it's Tuesday. It's not even in between. Okay. So here I am on Tuesday. Hope y'all are doing well. We are here to talk about another episode of Ready to Love, season 11, episode 4. Okay. So let's get into it. The assignment for this week was to take for the women to take the guys somewhere that they love or to do something that they enjoy. Okay. So up first, and I was excited about this because oftentimes the dates are all food related or eating. Like most of the dates are at somebody's house eating or at a restaurant eating. I don't, in all the seasons, I could be wrong, but I don't remember them having this as one of the agenda items. So I was really excited about this to see where the different things and different places that they would take the men. For me, I love sports, so it definitely would be a sporting event, um, or it would be like at a gym or somewhere we could get active. So we start off with Dominique, and Dominique invites people to her house to do what? Eat. So I was just like, I was so excited. And then we are eating once again. But maybe Dominique's thing is cooking. I didn't know that, but maybe she likes cooking. But I just I don't know, man. Maybe like Dominique, nothing else. Like, and again, if I could see if you're a chef or maybe you just love to cook. Maybe so, maybe so. I just thought maybe okay. Anyway, so Dominique invited Bello, Chris, Divine, and Christina, okay, over. Um, so she cooks, and like I said, you know what I really think this was about? I think she really likes Bello. She found out Bello's favorite food was like oxtail or whatever. So I think she centered her outing around that, kind of impress him. That's what I'm thinking. But anyway, And then I think Christina and Devon was picking up too that she really liked the Bello. All right, so then they pan over to Chris and Christina. So they pan over to Chris and Christina, and Chris tells Christina that she is stunning. And do I need to bring up the pictures? Do y'all remember who everybody is? I I'm still, it takes me to like episode, I don't know, episode like 8 or 9 until I can figure out who everybody is. I'm not even mad if y'all don't remember. And y'all may remember. Okay. This is just for me. Let's see who we got here. Okay, so yeah, so Chris and Christina. And then let me pull up the other two as well. Okay, so we got this up. So Chris tells Christina, so they're right beside each other, that she is stunning. And she says she was called fat, ugly, and stupid. All right. So, hearing these words, it's due to her and it makes her feel good. And Chris says, don't worry, because I used to be teased too. He said he used to be teased over his gap in his hair. He had a hair situation. Okay. So that might be why he's bald now. And y'all, this is so funny because I wrote this down before I even seen what was to come, but I literally wrote, Chris, remember you have to have money to be with Christina. Because you remember Christina was like, yeah, I don't do general pop at events. My friends, I'm always getting in VIP and backdoor. Like I couldn't imagine just being out with the general public. Y'all remember that from episode 1? So I was like, Chris, be careful. Okay, you gotta have money now. But then I remembered that Chris does own a restaurant, okay, or multiple restaurants, I think. So I think Chris is good in that area, but I was like, just don't forget. Okay, so then we move on to Dominique and Devon. So y'all remember Devon in the bottom right here, okay, and Dominique. Y'all know Dominique. I know those two. I do know those two. Okay, so Dominique and Devon are in the kitchen, and Dominique asked Devon, "Why are you looking at me like that?" And let me just remove this because I think we know those two. So she asked him, "Why are you looking at me like that?" And he was like, "I want all of you." And y'all, reminds me, I could be wrong, but this reminds me of a situation. You're in a situation where a guy likes you, you don't like him, but he's a really nice guy. You don't want to hurt his feelings. I feel like that's what's going on here. I don't think Dominique, I think initially at the mixer, maybe Dominique was trying to, the second mixer, maybe she was trying to feel him out. I think when he went to kiss her, I think that's when she was like, okay, he doing too much. So I don't think she likes him like that. I think he thinks they got something going on. They really don't. So I hope she doesn't lead him on too far. Um, so yeah, this is what I was picking up there. Then Dominique says she doesn't know if she wants kids. Um, which I was confused. I'm just confused about this. I'm like, does she have kids or does she not have kids? Because I don't know if it was here or with another conversation. She was, or maybe it was this. She was like, yeah, my kids are important. She alluded to kids. So I'm like, does she have them or not? But anyway, she's saying she doesn't know if she wants kids. And Devon was like, oh no problem. Yep, I don't have that kids. And so shouts out to Dominique for asking him again, like, no, for real, I'm serious. I don't know if I want kids. You just said you want a family. So I'm glad Dominique clarified because kids, that's not anything to just breeze over. Like that's a serious topic. So she asked him again to be sure. And he says he is open to adopt. Okay. But I don't know. I just think you gotta be true to yourself. whatever you want, you want. So, Devon, if you want kids and you want them to be yours, okay, you just got to let her know that. And you can find somebody that is into what you're into. You can't just change up just so you can be with a particular person. So, I'm glad Dominique asked him that again. Like, no, I'm not playing. And he was like, oh, no, it's cool. So, I don't know. Like I said, with me, I can never date a guy that wasn't in the sports. Like, I'm sorry. You could be the best guy in the world, but that's so important to me. So you would have to be in the sports and God. Okay. If you can't do those two things, I'm so sorry. So anyway, we move on to Bello and Christina. Um, and this was so funny because again, I just wrote down when Christina was talking to Chris, I was like, watch out for Christina. Cause I remember episode one, I was like, say what now? She just seemed very like, I don't know who she thinks she is. I know she sings and everything. Maybe she's a big deal in Detroit. I don't know. But this scene was so funny. And I told y'all, like, I will never steer y'all wrong, right? I'ma always tell y'all what's up. So this just validated what I said in episode one about Christina. Um, so they got into this whole thing, I guess maybe this is like a test that Christina does to men. Evidently, she was doing this at least for this show. And so I guess she asked each one of the men, or she told them that her back was hurting or something, or she had a long day and she needed a massage. And I guess it was some test to see if they would give her the money. And I guess I don't know that she named the people. I don't know who the first person was, but the first person was like, look, I don't got it. The second person she later told us in the ladies' lounge was Divine. Divine, don't let them use you. Okay. Divine gave her the money, no problem, cash apped it. She asked Bello, and Bello was on silent because Bello knew what was up. So I guess she used that to make the analysis that maybe Bello's broke or you need to be able to put up the money. Like if I need something, and she had a whole dissertation on this piece. But you know what, y'all? I feel like Christina wasn't wrong. Like I just said, there's somebody for everybody. You just got to let your requirements be known. Now, I don't agree, but if Christina knows that about herself, like I need somebody to shower me with money, like that's the only way I'm gonna feel loved. That's good that she's not hiding that, right? It's good that she's putting it out in front. Like I'm gonna need all your money. Okay, she's just letting the people know, letting the guys know. So I can't fault her for doing that. And like she said, you can align or you can move to the side. And that's true. And I'm glad she did that because Bello probably won't even pursue her anymore. And the only thing about this, I will say, Christina, is that this is just my opinion. Okay. She's going to attract men with money, but with low standards, I think, low morale. In my opinion, a lot of guys that are wealthy or well to do have made a good living for themselves, are very established, entrepreneurial, building a business, all that type, those types of things, and they're good men. Like they were raised right, good men. Most of the time, I feel like they are married, right? So they find somebody in college, they find somebody in their early mid 20s, they're married and gone. By the time you get to late 30, and I'm not trying to depress anybody, this is my opinion. By the time you get to late 30s, 40s, so if you find a man in his late 30s, in his early 40s, and he's uber successful, right? Just doing it big, but he's not married, he doesn't have a family, just in my opinion, I don't feel like they be having the best morals and standards about themselves. I feel like those are the types that are trying to rip and run the streets, trying to use their money to lure in women and saying, "Yes, Christina, I will be with you. You're beautiful. What do you need?" Whole time he cheating on her. She's stressed out. I just think that's how it be. So I say that to say, Christina, you gotta be careful what you wish for. Okay, I would take a man's character, okay? Find a man with good character over somebody that's going to be giving you $300 or what she said, you got to put something on it or all this kind of stuff. I'm just saying, you got to be careful about that with men in this age range that you're going to be dealing in. If they're not married still, what's going on, right? Okay. Anyway, so let's move on to Nicole and Divine. So we move away from the house cooking date and we go over to Nicole. Yes, Nicole, I love it. She invited Divine out to play cricket. So I really, really like this. Creative. Yes, love it. Um, and I'm just thinking, Divine, don't mess this up. Cause I feel like he's stuck on Dominique. And I'm like, Dominique don't want you. I think Nicole is perfect for him. I love it. She's beautiful. She likes him. She loves his geeky side. So I'm really hoping that's my only thing. I just feel like in the back of his head, Nicole is his number two and Dominique is his number one. Dominique is, I don't know, Divine. I feel like he's that type of guy that's very nerdy and geeky. He grew up, he looks handsome, he probably has a good job. So now he's able to get the women that maybe he wasn't able to get in school. And he probably sees Dominique as like the top tier or whatever. Um, and so I'm just hoping he doesn't overlook Nicole for Dominique. That's the only thing that's bothering me about that. So then we go over to Shannon. So Shannon's outing, we're back at home, but she did ask them to bring something that means a lot to them. Okay. Each person to bring over an item. But again, it's just like we couldn't go anywhere. Detroit, I just feel like it's a lot of cool stuff to do. All right. Okay, so we go around, right? Um Xavier, and we got some really good stories out of this. Xavier brought a rose and that he got at his grandmother's homegoing. Okay, so he had that encapsulated, so that was really nice. Donna had pom poms, so I guess she was a coach at one point in time, and when our tenure was done, all the coaches got pom poms, which is real cool. And then Ed had some type of statue that was given to him from his brother cousin that was killed in active duty. Really got choked up over that. Um, and then Darius was the one that got choked up. He had a dress for his daughter that was sewn by his mom, who has since passed, which was really nice. So, y'all, we have everybody went, everybody presented what they brought, everybody had a beautiful backstory. We were getting choked up on almost everybody's story. And here comes Shannon. And what does Shannon present? A dilation wheel? I said, what? And again, y'all, I could be biased, but this is what I was talking about when I told y'all episode one, because Shannon, I believe, is the one that has like 5 degrees and been in school for 13 years or something like that. And I told y'all, I said, let's make sure that Shannon, her whole identity isn't wrapped up in school and education and getting these degrees. Like, let's make sure she has an identity and a personality outside of that. So when she presented a dilation wheel, I was like, and I will give her a little bit of grace because I'm hoping that the producers just cut this part out. I'm hoping the backstory was like, look, y'all, I'm all about women's health, and I became a doula last year to help women in the birthing process. Like, I needed a backstory. I'm like, I mean, did y'all see what everybody presented and how sentimental it was to them? And she had a dilation wheel. I don't know. That just, again, I was just like, are you trying to say like how smart you are? And I don't know. I don't know. I just thought everybody else. what they had, it was sentimental. Like you kind of really felt it. Like, dang, I feel you on that. I see why you keeping it. I didn't get Shannon's, but again, I'm gonna give her a little bit of grace because maybe the producers just didn't air her explanation. But I was lost on that. Okay, so now let's move over to Donna and Xavier. So, do y'all remember Donna? Because I couldn't remember Donna. All right, so y'all remember Donna, and y'all know Xavier. Okay, so Donna asks Xavier, has he been following up with the women? And he says he talked to like one, and she didn't really fit his style. Um, so Donna was like, well, this is kind of a process, and you behind. Do you think you need to go faster? And he was like, oh no, no, not at all, not at all. ah, Listen, I'm not gonna lead you astray. I told y'all episode 1. I gotta start cutting up these clips. And so I can where's my little clock it button? Clock it. There it is, clock it. Okay. Yeah, man. I told y'all as soon as I seen Xavier at that first mixer, I said he looked like he don't like he's mean and like he don't play around and it's his way or the highway. And that's exactly what I'm still getting that from him. Um One of the things when you are dating, this is so important. I always say this because you're two different people coming from two different worlds and you're trying to mesh. No one person's way is the right way. And so when you're dating somebody, you got to be able to see, are they able to let you have it sometimes? Are they able to compromise? Are they able to say, you know what, you're right about that. I'm gonna think about that. Or is everything you say is nope, nah, I don't do it like that. That ain't the way I. And he comes off as that type of person. Like this is the way I do it. This is the right way. I don't care what you got to say about it type of person. That's what I picked up on him. And you could see here, she was like, well, this is a process. Like, do you think, but like, she didn't even say it aggressively or anything like that. Like, do you think you might speed up your process? Oh, no, 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 I'm not going to change. I was like, man. Um, and I agree with Donna. Maybe he's just not into the process. When I see guys, because there are guys every season that come on and this happens, right? All the women are like, you're not calling me, you're not calling me. And last year, I feel like it was Fritz in the last, even though he ended up with old girl, but I don't think that's gonna last. But I think what happens is they come on the show and I just think they don't find anybody they're attracted to. And so they're like, I'll just stay on until as long as I can. I might call here and there. So I'm guessing maybe Xavier just isn't attracted to anybody. That's the only thing I can think. Because if you were, like, you would be making the effort. You'd be trying to call that person, text that person. So maybe he's just not into anybody. Um, Next is Shannon and Ed. So y'all remember Ed, all right, and Shannon. Okay. All right. For me, y'all, I can't get out of my head what old girl said about. I hate to call her old girl. I just can't remember who it was. Was it Nicole? It's one of the women that went to school with Ed. I just can't get out my head what she was saying. How he was like wild and this party animal and all that kind of stuff. I can't unhear and unsee. Um, Shannon, like we talked about, is very educated, very demure. I want the best for her. I don't like her with Ed, okay, because of what's been put in my head about Ed. Um, I felt like Ed was trying to put on because remember he was like, "Oh man, I just love your style. You're like Michelle Obama," and I feel like he was trying to put on. He knows that she's very well educated. He was like, "Well, I was over at the school last week and I was teaching the little kids." And I was just like, really? I don't know, y'all. I could be reaching. I just felt like he was trying to put on to impress her. And then he was like, I'm going to give you a massage north of the Mason Dixon line. You know, I know what that means too. So I don't know. Is he trying to put on? Y'all think he's trying to put on? Um, I just don't like, I don't like, I don't like Ed for her. I just don't. So I don't know. So then let's go to and maybe it has grown. Okay, y'all. He could have grown. So I could be wrong on that. So next, let's go to Ashanti, Carday, and Vince. Let me see. So Ashanti host a cooking class. Okay, so I'm cool with the food and stuff, but can we go somewhere? Does it have to be at somebody's house? So thank you, Ashanti. Pretty much all the dates been about food anyway. Y'all just can't let it go. I know it's some more fun stuff to do in Detroit. But anyway, so Shanti hosts a cooking class at her house. She's a personal chef. This tracks. It makes sense. I get it. Um, but then we got Jokey Joke Vince is what we call him, okay? So the instructor says whenever you pick up a knife, you have to say sharp. Oh man, that's all Vince needed to hear. Okay. So he kept saying sharp, sharp, sharp. Even in the amount of time, the footage that we seen, which couldn't have been any more than a couple of minutes, he at least said it 10 times. So I can only imagine in real time how he was getting on everybody's nerves. And then he was talking to Lauren. Oh, yeah, Lauren was there too. So it was Ashanti, Cardi, Vince, and Lauren. So he was like, yeah, you got to get in there and cut that mushroom. Yeah, you got to get in it. It's just doing too much. Like, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And like I said, y'all, it's so cool to be funny because I feel like I am comedic in nature when I'm out with a group of people. And I'm not the life of the party. I'm not an extrovert or anything like that. But I do like to keep things jovial and throw little jokes here and there and just, you know what I'm saying, just be cool. But like I said, the key is you gotta read the room. You gotta know when to say when. Okay. You gotta know, let's say we got a joke going, right? You got to know when the joke has run its course, right? You know, some people they still on the joke, and you like, yeah, that is not. It's not really funny anymore, right? Vince seemed like the type of person he just don't know. He don't know when to stop. He don't know when. Okay, like I can be funny. I can be authentically myself. But at this point right here, I'm trying to talk to Lauren. So let me ask her. You know, let me be serious for a second. Goodness. So then we pan over to Lauren and Carday. Let's clap it up for oh dang, wrong button, wrong button. Let's clap it up for Carday. He's showing up so much more confident. And we learned that he wants to be a pilot. I did not know that. So that's really cool. Um, by the way, I would have been out on Carday because I think it's admirable. I think it's so cool, but I'm not getting in no plane with anybody that's a pilot. I'm sorry. I'm not scared of flying. I'm not terrified of flying, but I don't know. I don't know. If some, like, if it's a person that's like, oh yeah, I got my pilot's license last year, like come fly with me. Like, no, man. And I'm sure that person, I know you got to go through many, many hours. I'm sure it's safe, but I've been in a couple of private jets before with my company. Not that, you know, it's been on my own accord. It's scary, y'all. Like, it's different riding in a regular plane than it is in those tiny jets where it's like four seats. And you looking like, if the wind blow the wrong way, I'm out of here. Not less somebody that just got their license. I just can't do it. But I think that's super, super cool. Um, I think Lauren is mean, y'all. So Lauren, she hasn't done anything. She just comes off like if you say the wrong thing, it's gonna be a problem and she will like eat you up. That's just what I feel. She's just always like, I don't know. I can't even describe it, but I do not like her for Carday. Carday is so sweet. I think she would run all over him. So I do not endorse Lauren and Carday. So I'm hoping that he moves along. Okay, so then we have Vince and Ashanti. So evidently there was some conversation that happened, I think, when they were skating, that about Vince saying that for, I guess he used an example that if he makes $150,000 and his significant other was cool with that, then she doesn't have to work and they could just live off the $150,000. But if the significant other has a problem with that or she wants a bigger lifestyle, then he would say, okay, well, you need to help me grow my business or you need to get a job and contribute. Okay. Um, I didn't see the problem here. I agree. I actually think that's more fair than the whole 50-50 thing, right? Because he's saying like you don't even have to work. Like if you cool with what I make, you don't gotta work. I thought that was cool. I'm not sure why the ladies were upset about that. It could be the presentation, the way he comes off, the way he was delivering it was kind of aggressive. But I think that's a good deal. Like, oh, okay, so I don't really gotta work. But if I want a bigger house, I don't want the 3 bedroom. I want a 5 bedroom. That's gonna cost a little more. Then maybe I need to get a little job and contribute. So I'm with that. I thought that was okay. I just didn't like the way he delivered it. Like I said, um, anyway, I always told you the whole 50-50, 80-20, 90-10, it's all confusing. I just say get one account, put all your money in the account and just live life. Okay. That is all real confusing. Now Ashanti says that Vince's energy was very combative. So I agree with that. I think the way he delivers stuff, okay, it's like, okay, calm down. It does his energy. I don't think he realizes it, but his energy can be intense. Um, I think he may also joke to I told y'all people I think people that joke all the time are masking who they really are. For Vince, I'm picking up that he's a little bit rude and sarcastic, and I think he hides it behind the jokes. Um, it always seems the way he delivers makes it seem like he's talking to a child, which can be very belittling. Because nobody wants to feel like that. So yeah, I don't know if he's self aware that that's what he's how he is coming off to people. I think it's a way to say stuff. You can say the same thing. It's all about delivery, always. You can say anything you want to say to people, but it's about how you deliver it. You know what I mean? So I think he's off in his approach and delivery there. So then we move on to Ashley and Ed. Ashley loves her dog, Duchess. Okay, clap it up. We have another date that's not involved. Well, I guess it was involving food because all they did was sit down and eat. Never mind. So she loves her dog, Duchess. She invites him out to, I guess, was like a dog park or somewhere where you could eat and they allowed dogs to roam free. So, again, me personally, I couldn't be with a man that has animals. I'm so sorry. I don't do animals like that. Um, I don't know. I've just always been like that. I just can't do it. I can't do the dogs. I can't do the cats. No. Okay. So Ed asked, and that's my other thing. It's like, and I know a lot of y'all probably got animals, but my thing is, I always say if I'm gonna have, oh, is this a tangent? If I'm going to have an animal, I'm gonna just have a kid first. I'm gonna just have a child. I mean, if you telling me I gotta get up, I gotta walk it, it's peeing all over the place, it's got medical bills, I gotta buy food. Like, I'm gonna just have a child that's gonna grow up and be independent. Okay. But anyway, so Ed asked Ashley, what's your personality type? And Ashley says, I just like people to be themselves. Once again, I don't know if Ready to Love was a surprise to these people. But I'm like, y'all, we on a dating show. We have to have prepared answers. These are common questions. Somebody asks you, what's your personality type? And you say, I just like people to be themselves. I'm like, Ashley, that's not what he asked you. What is your personality type? Are you shy? Are you outgoing? Do you like to stay in the house? Do you like to be out? So I don't know. We got to have some prepared answers going on. But anyway, we learned that Ed was married to his high school sweetheart, and they got divorced. Okay. Um. So this was going good, and then Ashley took a wrong turn, y'all. Then she got into this whole every season this happens. Why don't you call me? Why you don't be texting me? Don't do that. So Ashley got took a left turn. She said that she let Ed know that she was interested, but she's not getting the same energy back. And this whole thing, I always tell y'all, ladies, you gotta stop. If a man is interested in you, say it with me, he will pursue you, period. It's nothing else to it. It's not he was too busy. He got a laid back spirit or whatever Ashley was talking about. No, no, no. That's not it, Ashley. Okay. He's just not that into you right now. Maybe later down the line. It's very simple. So don't, if you ever fix your lips to have to tell a man, why aren't you calling me or texting me? Why aren't you talking to me? Move on. He's not interested. There's nothing else going on in his life that's that deep, okay? That he can't send a text or call. I don't care what's going on, okay? So then we move on to Ashanti and Steven. Come on. This was the best date. Okay. Very creative. I've never heard or seen this before. And that's what I'm saying. I know Detroit has some cool stuff. So we finally got a date. This one and I think Nicole's that did not incorporate food. So this was a tie-dye date. And Steven says he wants his wife to have a passion and not just be at home with the kids. Like I said, let it be known whatever you want. You can have whatever you want in this life. He doesn't want a wife that's like, babe, I'm gonna just hold down the house. He's gonna be like, no, no, no. You gotta have a passion. Okay. That's what Steven wants. And then Ashanti says she wants to travel the world together, see new experiences and stuff like that, and go to different locations. Okay. So I really like them together. I think they are cute. I really like Ashanti and Steven. I like them. I like them. All right. So now it's time for the ladies' lounge. You look, Vince is at this point, Vince is going home. Like you couldn't have told me nothing else. I was like, oh yeah, Vince is up out of there. He's done. So all the ladies said he had that aggressive energy, like we talked about, and we learned that he called somebody a B. I think it ended up being what's her name, Lauren. Yeah, which was hilarious because Lauren was like, "We need to give him the benefit of the doubt," and it was like, "Girl, it was you." She was like, "What? It was me." So I thought it was funny. So again, I knew Vince was up out of there. Then they got on this Xavier, and I thought this was so funny because somebody called him Big Unc, like a big uncle. He gives uncle vibes, and then Tommy said "Ready to Love 65." I thought that was pretty funny. So then I'm like, oh shoot, that's a good point. Nobody likes Xavier either, but I still felt like Xavier, at least if you talk to him and say, hey, you need to get on the ball, I thought maybe he still had a chance. I didn't think anybody was feeling Vince. Um, so we get to the elimination dates, and Vince said, so they let Vince know, like, look, the ladies are feeling this, that, and the other. And Vince said it's hard for him not to speak his mind. And if any woman got a problem, she can get gone. And that's what I'm talking about. The delivery is just off. So I'm hoping he watches this and he can see, because I know obviously we're inside of our bodies. We can't always see what other people see and how other people perceive us. So I'm hoping once he watches this back, right, he can say, "Oh, I see where I might have been coming off aggressive." Because right now he's just saying, "Well, I'm just speaking my mind. I'm just being myself. I can't not be myself." Um, and I don't think anybody wants him to not be himself, but I think, like I said, he has to work on the delivery of it all. Instead of saying, if any woman has a problem with it, she can get gone. Instead of saying that, maybe he could be like, you know, I like to be able to express myself. I'm a really expressive person. So I probably need to find a woman that accepts that. See, I just said the exact same thing. I use different words and a softer approach. You see what I'm saying? So you can still communicate. Like, yeah, I understand what you guys are saying. Me being expressive, this is really a big part of who I am. And I know I got to work on how I express that. Um, if she don't like it, she can get gone. Like, you got to, Vince, you're going to have a hard time out here, man. Um, so to my surprise, Vince got to stay. I was like, that has to be a production decision. I was very confused by that. And Xavier ended up being the one that went home. And he didn't seem to be too upset. Like I said, I don't think Xavier really seen anybody that he was that enamored with anyway. So but anyway, y'all, that was the show. It's really good. I've been enjoying it. And so I will see you guys back. If it's not this weekend, it will be what? Tuesday. And that's only because I don't have my children on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Shout out to my parents, the best. Okay, on Tuesdays and Thursdays is when I get all of my grading done. And this is a quick tangent, and I'll let y'all go. Y'all, it's the end of the semester, right? Semester done. My students are working on finals right now, and this never fails. Have a student didn't do anything whole semester. Send me an email yesterday. Dr. Watts, yeah, I just had some personal things. I had some things come up, and I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna turn in all my stuff. We got so much work. Like, ain't no way he gonna be able to turn in everything by Friday. But yeah, I'm gonna turn in all my stuff. Y'all, the overwhelming job of a professor is to be a social worker. Like, most of the stuff I deal with is not even like the curriculum and grading. It's like HR type of stuff like this all the time. It's always something, always something. So I was like, and I was just impressed with the audacity. I don't even know this person, never sent me an email, nothing. Just popped up, hey, don't worry about it. I'm gonna turn it in. I said, no, 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 you won't turn anything in. I don't know what you're talking about. Didn't ask because I'm cool, y'all. I'm real cool. I'm gonna work with you. You know what I'm saying? I know it's rough out here. These are like master students, so they got kids and everything. They're working jobs. I get it. If you reach out to me, I'm gonna work with you. But just the audacity to wait till the last week and didn't even ask, was it okay? Didn't even make up a sob story. Anyway, that was a tangent. I will see you guys next. It's probably gonna be next Tuesday because I got something to do this weekend. So I don't know if I'll be able to record, but I'm gonna get it done nonetheless. Okay. All right. I will see you guys. See ya.